Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Monday, February 24th, 2025. Stand up for your country. In the bullpen, I'm looking out there. We got Stephen A. Smith warming up. He will join us shortly. Another busy week here. Newsweek, my God, it just never ends because Donald Trump is so frenetic. He's so on a mission. I hope you read my column I filed yesterday about why he's doing what he's doing. And I have a message of the day about President Biden and how Biden's performance is driving Donald Trump's policies right now. So I hope you read both of them. You don't have to be a member. You have to just go to BillO'Reilly.com, and there it is. Talking Points memo this evening, a fascinating story. The President of the United States versus the state of Maine. Now, I know Maine real well. Okay, beautiful place, particularly in the summer and fall. In the winter, it gets a little chilly up there. But Mainers are very interesting people, fiercely independent. And a lot of fishermen, lobster, all that, outdoors, big gun territory, Maine. A lot of people, it's a blue state, but everybody's got a gun because a bear could come down and eat you. You got to have a gun in Maine. Rural state. Now, Harris won by 57,000 votes, but Trump got close to 400,000 votes in Maine. All right, so it's not California out there. So Trump signs an executive order, and he says it protects women and girls on the playing fields against trans men. Here's what the EO says, quote, "It is the policy of the United States to rescind all funds from educational programs that deprive women and girls of fair athletic opportunities, which results in the endangerment, humiliation, and silencing of women and girls, deprives them of privacy. It will also be the policy of the United States to oppose male competitive participation in women's sports more broadly, as a matter of safety, fairness, dignity, and truth," unquote. That was signed on February 5th, that executive order. Well, Maine isn't obeying it. The governor up there, Janet Mills, 77 years old, been in office 6 years, says to the federal government, blank you, we're not going to go along with this executive order. So then Governor Mills on Friday shows up at the White House for a governor's meeting. Here's what happened. Go.
And it's crazy, but the NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
Ooh, nasty, right? Okay. So after that meeting, Trump orders the Department of Education, which still exists, okay, to investigate Maine's adherence to Title IX. Title IX says you can't discriminate based on sex in education programs or activities. And the Trump administration says you cannot allow males to compete against females, even if they're transitioning. Okay. So it looks to me like Trump, and I can almost assure you this will happen, will pause all federal aid to the state of Maine. This is a disaster, because the state of Maine doesn't have a very big population, and it gets $5 billion a year from the feds, which it needs for roads and other things. So then they'll go to court, and Trump will win, because federal law trumps, state law. And the governor can virtue signal all she wants, but with this Supreme Court, it's a 6-3 vote all day long, every day, if it gets that high. And that's the memo. There's a lot of turbulence going on in this country. And no more so than in the media. Media madness. Listen to this. Oh, just over the weekend. All right, YouGov poll. All right, fair sampling. Question in general, how much you trust and how much confidence you have in the media to state the facts fully, accurately, and fairly. A great deal, fair amount, 28, not very much, none at all. 67% of the American public does not trust the media. This is YouGov. That's a liberal poll. 67%. Second question, in general, how much trust, confidence do you have in President Trump's administration? State the facts accurately and fairly. A great deal, fair amount, 44. Not much, 51. Okay, that's about 50-50 when you do the margin of error thing. Associated Press. They're suing the Trump administration because Donald Trump says, we're not allowing you into certain venues like the White House press room because the AP won't call the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. All right. Now, what's the Associated Press? It is what they call a wire service. So if you live in a small town and have a small town newspaper, you'll see AP because the small town newspaper can't afford to hire reporters to cover stuff. So they have to take the Associated Press. Therefore, the Associated Press reaches a tremendous amount of people. It is, as we chronicled last week, a very liberal organization. Very liberal, the AP. And they hate Trump. And Trump knows it. So Trump picked up on the AP refusing to call the Gulf of America, okay? And he said, okay, then you can't be in the White House this room. You can't go on Air Force One. You can't. AP says, hey, we're going to sue you. All right, U.S. District Court, Washington, D.C., violation of the First Amendment because the government is not supposed to retaliate against a press agency. AP could win this. Unlike Maine, no way she wins, the governor up there. AP could win. The judge might rule, hey, you're retaliating against this press organization, which has special rights, as the press does in this country, because they're doing something you don't like. So keep your eye on Supreme Court on that one. That's a tough one, because the Trump administration can say, listen, we have the right to designate what our country is called. The federal government has a right to do that. But you then, if you're a sharp lawyer on the AP, you say you only have 12 miles, because that's U.S. waters go 12 miles. After that, it's international waters. It's complicated. But the Trump administration, it's not a lock they win this. And I think they'll settle up. Maybe they'll call it the Gulf of New Mexico. I don't know. All right. MSNBC fires Joy Reid, a very radical woman. Fires her. You're out. Bye. Pretty stunning. All right. Now, they did that because Joy Reid's ratings aren't very good, but nobody on MSNBC has good ratings. But they're not terrible ratings. They have worse people there. But Joy Reid is a real... she's very far out and very racial. Roll the tape.
Republican voters don't vote that way. They don't vote based on economics or based on the benefits they're getting economically from the president. They're increasingly, from the Tea Party on, they're voting on race. They're voting on this idea of an invasion of brown people over the border. The idea that they can't get whatever job they want. A black person got it, therefore drive all the blacks out of the colleges, get rid of DEI. That is what they're voting on.
Okay. I don't believe that's what they're voting on. I don't believe white people have animus in general against blacks. Some do. There are bigots on both sides. I'm not justifying anything, but she sees everything through a racial prism. Lester Holt, not the problem at NBC, stepping down. But we don't know why. Lester won't tell us why. Now, you may remember that Donald Trump attacked the hierarchy at Comcast, which owns NBC and NBC News. Here's what Trump said, quote, "Low-life chairman of Comcast, Brian Roberts, the owner of ratings challenge NBC and MSDNC, has finally gotten the nerve to fire one of his least talented people in television, the mentally obnoxious racist Joy Reid. Based on her ratings, which were virtually non-existent, she should have been canned a long time ago, along with everyone else who works there." Okay, so notice the first line, low-life chairman of Comcast, Brian Roberts. These moguls are afraid. Now, why is Lester Holt? He's not the problem. As some of you know, I work with Mr. Holt at WCBS TV. He's a straight shooter. Yes, he's in the culture of NBC and Comcast, which is decidedly left-wing. There's no doubt about that. But he himself, I think he tried to be down the middle. But there's no reason for him to step down. He's healthy, still good. Why is he leaving? Nobody knows. It'll come out. Now, they bopped out Nora O'Donnell at CBS and put in two guys nobody ever heard of, and that's a disaster already. And I predict, you remember, I said if Trump won the election, the media was going to fall apart, corporate media, and they are. The average American's feeling financial strain more than ever before. Expenses up, but wages are not. So it's no surprise that folks are resorting to credit cards to get by, even if that means carrying high balances and interest rates into the 20s or 30s. If you are a homeowner and stuck in this cycle of mounting debt, you need to call my friends at American Financing. Their salary-based mortgage consultants are saving homeowners an average of $800 a month. Plus, if you act now, you might be able to skip your next mortgage payment. There are no upfront fees, so it costs nothing to find out how much you could save. It's time to break free from the stress of debt. So please call American Financing today and take control of your financial future. 888-462-9557. 888-462-9557. AmericanFinancing.net. Okay, I just finished cutting my new YouTube commentary on Jane Fonda, who got a big SAG award. I'm in that union. Over the weekend, you'll like it. We hope you go and sign up for it's free. Free. YouTube.com/Bill O'Reilly and listen to my comment on Miss Fonda. Here's a mail. Karen Smolens, Woodside, New York, one of the last Irish neighborhoods in Queens. Hey, Bill, unfortunately, my children are liberal. My daughter told me all the recent airline accidents are Trump's fault because Doge is getting rid of too many employees. How do I answer that? You don't answer it. You don't. It's not even close to being true. You just say, if you do some research, you'll find out that under Biden, there were 2,000 air traffic controllers missing. Federal government didn't hire 2,000 under Biden that they needed. Trump didn't have anything to do with this. But she's not going to believe you no matter what you do. Okay, Jared G., the Philippines. I'm 41 years old, been watching you since I was age 12. Whoa. Do you think Trump is ripping on Zelensky as a negotiation tactic? Read my column. That's all I can tell you. You can get it on BillO'Reilly.com. It's all over the world. I know the Philippines does not block us. So you can read it, Jared. I appreciate it. Then you'll feel exactly why Trump is doing what he's doing with Putin. Juan Unda, Mays Landing, New Jersey. President Trump's catchphrase, "Make America Great Again," has always interested me because it implies the country went wrong somewhere. When do you think America lost its way? It goes up and down. It goes up and down, okay? And certainly the Biden administration was a disaster. There's no doubt about it. And before that, when Trump was elected the first time, he thought that President Obama was a disaster. I don't have Obama in that category. If you read Confronting the Presidents, and I hope you do, we do a very disciplined assessment of Barack Obama. Rich Stevens, San Diego. Bill, you asked if the media ever credited Trump for what he is doing. I'm not sure, but how could they not credit him for the American hostages which were released in Venezuela, in Russia, and I think there was one or two in Gaza. They ignored the story. They ignored Trump's participation. That's what they do. If Trump does anything demonstrably good, media ignores it. That's a strategy. Andrea Rose, Los Angeles, great column on President Trump. Bill, nobody does it better than you. Appreciate that, Andrea. I know you're a long time subscriber to BillO'Reilly.com and viewer, and I think that column is one of my best. Dan O'Brien, Cameron, North Carolina. Bill, does an elected official represent the government to their constituency or their constituency to the government? The latter. When you are elected to a national office, you are representing the folks in your state or district. But you have to vote your conscience as well. You have to explain it to the folks. If they don't like you, they'll boot you out. John Joyce, Montgomery, Texas. Reading your Killing and Confronting books has made it easy to understand American history and the current political environment. Thanks very much. I can't wait to get my hands on Confronting Evil. Just finishing it up. It's going to be a rollicking adventure. Here's Putin. Bad Vlad. Scott Crawford, Holly, Michigan. Three Americans tour is a phenomenal idea. Reminds me of how you would put opposing views together on your old Fox show. Why nobody else is doing that is baffling. Let's see if it works. As I said to Stephen A., I don't know. Tribalism is really strong now. We'll see. I hate saying that, but that's true. Carla Caruso, Hopeg, New York on Long Island. As soon as I heard that you will be at the Westbury Music Fair on March 30th, my boyfriend and I logged into BillO'Reilly.com, got fifth row tickets. Whoa, wave to me. So you get the tickets at BillO'Reilly.com. Ticketmaster, Westbury Music Fair itself. And we just started selling them on Friday, so there's still good ones, but you got to move it. Okay, we hope you go to our store. First of all, subscribe to our newsletter. 900,000 Americans and an untold number of overseas people subscribe to BillO'Reilly.com/newsletter. Free, just like YouTube, free, and you'll be updated. Word of the day, do not be bovine, B-O-V-I-N-E. You don't know what that means. I didn't know until I looked it up, bovine. When writing to me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com. Name and town if you wish to opine. Back with Dunham in a moment. President Trump is trying to fix the economy, but some believe the damage is already done. As the dollar value drops, China's power and gold keep going up. I called American Hartford Gold to diversify with physical precious metals, and you might consider that as well. They will help you secure your savings with physical gold and silver delivered right to your door, or you can set up a tax advantage gold IRA. Plus, it's tax and penalty free to roll over your current 401k or IRA. With billions in precious metals delivered, thousands of five-star ratings, and an A+ from the Better Business Bureau, they are the only precious metals dealer I trust. So please call or text American Hartford Gold. Tell them O'Reilly sent you, and you might get $15,000 of free silver on a qualifying order. Call 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. If your business generates $1 to $10 million annually but struggles with rising costs and other challenges, Financial Yield Solutions, Inc., or FYSI for short, has tailored solutions for you. From tax planning to scaling operations and more, FYSI helps businesses thrive. Considering selling? FYSI guides winning exit strategies. Look, AI tech raised $500 billion under the Trump administration so far. Businesses can't afford to be left behind. FYSI can help you explore AI integrations to excel in today's rapidly evolving landscape. With more than 14 years of experience, FYSI specializes in solving the challenges business owners face. Business owners can book a free business review today to transform your operations, boost profits, secure financial futures for you. Visit FYSI.com/Bill, or you can call. Here is the final thought of the day. On Friday night, I went to see Jeff Dunham, comedian. He's got the puppets. And I interviewed Dunham when he was 14 years old in Dallas, Texas. And I am so pleased with his success. Guy's a genius in my estimation. What he does, nobody else can do. Here's a sample. Go.
I think this whole thing was funny. Funny, yeah. I think my own party just realized how old I am. You dumbasses. That I killed it at the debate. You killed. Yeah, I killed the Democratic Party's hopes of winning the next election. By the way, I want to say, I know we have people from both parties represented here this evening, and I just make fun of what's going on in the news. That's it. So, Mr. President, despite what you heard, the Democrats are not panicking. No, they're freaking the F out. The debate united the Democratic Party. That's why they're all voting for Trump. You think your party's no longer behind you? Oh, they're behind me, but they're running through the frickin' hills.
So Dunham does a lot of that contemporary humor, but he's not a partisan. And it's very, very clever. He's got the last dummy he does is Peanut. He had me on the floor with Peanut. It was brilliant stuff. And he tours around. He's all over the place. So Jeff Dunham, check him out. Good guy. And that was an excellent show on Friday night at the UBS in Long Island, where the Islanders play, and I'll be going to a game very shortly. I hope they start to win. I want my teams to win, and Jets and Mets look good though. I think Mets could be a big year. Yankees are very good. Could be a Subway Series. Thank you very much for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.